address this nonsense because that's all it is nonsense. Rick Ross and Gillie the Kid going at it. It all started when Rick Ross put a comment on something Gillie said. Gillie mentioned him buying a cow and made fun of him buying a cow. Didn't say his name, but everybody knew who he was talking about because Rick Ross recently had bought a cow. So when someone recently buys a cow, this is what you normally would see. But he did it just to get a response from Rick Ross. That's all he wanted. He wanted to get that response from Ross. That was the gist of the whole thing, is I'm going to get Rick Ross to speak. I'm going to get old Fatback to speak and jump out his skin. And then the podcast show is going to kick right back off in gear because now we got some beef. Don't you see how this works? But let's see if Ross falls for the trap, which he does.
What is good, YouTube?
Y'all see the biggest boss does fall. I'm the biggest boss that you see does fall. Everybody in the day on the line for the whack ass balls. So anyway, Rick Ross has finally did something very smart by acquiring that cow. By doing that in the agriculture, it will keep his taxes down by making it into a farm. Transferring that into a farm
I'm trending on social media after Gillie the Kid said something about him on his podcast. Now, if y'all don't know who Gillie the Kid is,
Now, Gillie is a whole different individual. Like he said, if you don't know who Gillie the Kid is, it's null and void at this point. But if you know who Gillie the Kid is, he says a bunch of wild it.
World, it's your boy Sensei Rippin'. I'm back again with
Officer Rick,
aka the Mickey Mouse Show. Your history ain't right to F with me. You better leave that alone. 100 emoji. Now again, earlier in the video
that's crazy. This is crazy. So anyway, they sending each other stupid comments back and forth. But here's the thing that I want to do is address the situation beforehand. A lot of these people don't understand because they talk and they act like bosses. You see what I'm saying? When you act like a boss and you ain't a boss, you look lost. You look lost in the sauce. I like Gillie. I like what Gillie do. But you work for Barstool. Barstool pays you to do all of this. Rick Ross need this to stay relevant because he can't sell a damn record. You going at Ross is strategic. And then when he responds, because he gonna respond, because he needs it. Ross need attention so that he could break out all the stuff he done invested in so people could hopefully buy it. Nobody's buying his records no more. They getting less and less and less. You know what I found out 25 minutes ago? Somebody said Rick Ross released another album. That's how much he's fallen off. And this is somebody who listens to Rick Ross. Was actually saying that to me. Ross dropped another album? I said, wow, you a Rick Ross fan. And you didn't know he put out an album? Now, Rick Ross destroyed himself. He had already been destroyed. But the fake persona still existed because he attached himself to other people. He was doing features and jumping on that and all them Drake features. Whenever you put Ross and Drake, it'd be a great song and Ross would come in and screw it all up. Now, he can't beat Gillie in a war of the words. You're gonna lose. You can't.
Listen, man.
Look.
I'm only gonna tell you this one time, Ross. You better stop fucking playing with me, man. You hear me? And mind your fucking business, man. Because you went on a nigga Instagram page commenting about me, calling me out my name, my nigga, for no motherfucking reason at all. This is how this shit started. So I'm gonna tell you again, man, leave me the fuck alone, man. I see your little funky ass video. I spend more money on my cow's hooves than you spend on your wife. You're probably right, nigga. Cause I ain't bought her a quarter, nigga. She fuck with me because who I'm blessed to be, not because I bless her with a fee. But ain't you the nigga that said, I put Molly all in her drink, she ain't even know it. Goddamn, Ricky Raper, bitch. Huh? Stop talking about money, man. Cause money don't unlame a lame, nigga. There's a lot of suck-ass niggas out here with money and you on the list. Matter of fact, you the captain of the Suckers with Money Association of America, nigga, and we ain't impressed. So mind your business, because that's your problem. You're always minding niggas' business. You was minding Birdman business some years back when you was running around talking about, give Khaled the money you owe him. When you give Meek the money you owe him, nigga, because you got him in a 1914 slave deal, a Harriet Tubman joint that he signed when he was 19 and now he's 35. I thought you said a boss is one that guarantee we gon' eat. Well, why you ain't renegotiating with a real nigga? Thank God he fucking with them white boys. He fuck around, be broke, busted, and disgusted fucking with you. He's a hell of a businessman though. Salute to you, Meek. But stop talking about money, man. And stop pushing that Bel Air on niggas, cause they don't drink that shit no more. I got the ice electric blue bottle, and I got the lime green bottle that float in the air like Aladdin's carpet. We don't give a fuck. We don't want it, man. Niggas don't drink that shit, man. And slow up on them goddamn lemon peppers because you're about a 6-piece away from a heart attack, nigga. Leave me the fuck alone. I'm telling you, this ain't what you want like Lil Durk first single, nigga. You better leave me alone. And one thing about me, I'm not no hater. I salute you. Your crib is immaculate, nigga. I'm talking about your crib is 1 of 1, nigga. Unbelievable. But the whole Atlanta know you live dead smack in the hood, nigga. Right off Old National. 2 blocks away from the blackest Walmart in the state. You ain't had a good night's sleep since you moved in that motherfucker. You know how them niggas in Atlanta breaking houses. You worried about them niggas jumping your wall every night, nigga. And I get that raggedy ass cow to Labor Day before them niggas hop the wall and steal that motherfucker. Be riding all that Old National. Beat bread for the hood. Fuck is wrong with you, man? Leave me the fuck alone, man. I'm not the nigga that you want to play with, Ross. You hear me? Yeah, CEO / drug dealer kingpin. Remember, we was on the same record label together, Teflon. Remember that? When you used to go to work, you tell niggas, lock it in. Then you come home, you change your uniform, you put your hat on backwards, and then you go in the studio and be a drug dealer kingpin rapper. Oh. Leave me the fuck alone, man. This ain't what you want.
So, right away, Right away, you can see the difference between Rick Ross and Gillie. Gillie does this for a living. This is what he do, is roast people. Of course, there was a lot of inaccuracies, but this is what he do. But other than that, he right on. Ross always getting everybody business when there's an album finna drop. Talking about, I got more money and more cows coming. See, by him having the cow, just even one cow on his property, he will get what they call it, an agriculture tax. Like, because of the agriculture, you get a tax write-off. Rick Ross is in a big tax situation. That house is a tax trap. That's a money trap. You will be spending out so much money a year on taxes alone just for the land and the property. If you don't have residual income that's coming to take care of that, if your money fluctuates, you're going to be in trouble. Just like Holyfield when he had that house. Just like Tyson when he had that house in Connecticut and 50 Cent got suckered into buying it and it was bleeding him dry. Because this is an entertainment business in which your money fluctuates. Now, I applaud Ross for going out and get other businesses like investing in wing stops and that's what you're supposed to do. And I wish he promotes that more than his doggone drug dealing ways. Why you ain't talk about slinging wing stops? No, I'm not in the middle of their business. I'm reporting on what they put out in the general public. They put this out to everyone in the world. When you're in somebody's business, that means them two are talking to each other. And you jump in the middle of it. That's called getting in someone's business. But if somebody goes on social media and puts something out to the front of the whole world to see, to address somebody that they talking about, that means they talking to everyone. Now, it ain't like he called Rick Ross on the phone and them two are talking and I go in there and jump in the middle of it. That's entirely different. I'll be like, these Negroes put it in 4K. They used 170 characters. They want you to know what they talking about. Rick Ross is a clout chaser. Well, see, here's the thing. They both felt some way about Birdman and his practices back then. No, Birdman is a whole different individual. Birdman is an entirely different individual. His business practices was with Wayne. Ross got in the middle of it like he was his friend. He was just trying to promote his album because he didn't have no steam. Because he keep trying to make Port of Miami on every album, and nobody's interested because his rhymes are just bland. They just bland. They don't even pop. Whoever's his beat maker, he should be like, damn, I need to work with some real artists. Just by him having the cow, one cow is all he really needs. He can apply for that, and it gives him a tax write-off for having the cow, the upkeep, the storage, and everything else. So just for him having that cow on the property, he's gonna get some more cows, of course. But if that's what you're supposed to do with the land, let the land pay for itself. 50 had a nightclub, and that was just a bad idea. And he realized that wasn't gonna last long. But he kept holding on to that mansion for as long as he could. But the taxes is gonna have you so upside down on that house. But he didn't know anything. He went from his grandmother's basement to a 30-room mansion. 50 had people just staying in there after the nightclub, and they would just sleep in a room. And he didn't even know they was in the house. You know how dangerous that is? Well, that's what Rick Ross just trolls people. That's his job. Like he sits there and just trolls the entire world. And he's been doing it for forever, basically. But Birdman, he ain't worried about no Rick Ross. Because if Rick Ross saw Birdman face to face, he gonna apologize. Ain't nothing street about Ross. Ross hung around, he's an artist. And he hung around street dudes. But don't have to be street.
Niggas, they don't hear the roar of the crowd no more, and they still think the world gonna come back. So they be on Instagram and they be on social media doing dumb shit. I just bought a cow and all this dumb. Fuck would you buy a cow? What? He thought I just bought a cow. You know I was gonna bake you, nigga. I seen you in them comments. Nigga, you know I was gonna bake you, goofy ass. Yeah. Fuck wrong with you. Don't ever comment on nothing about me, nigga. When you used to be a CEO, nigga. When you used to lock niggas like Wallow in the shell, nigga. This ain't got nothing to do with you, player. But you know I was gonna bake you, dumb ass. I just bought a cow. Why the fuck would you buy a cow, nigga? You goofy ass nigga. Yeah, but
I'm gonna keep real, they tried to go up on me down there, like, cause I made a statement that said I run a certain part of things. You feel me?
And if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. Fuck
young nigga.
Now I'm still there. I'm a young nigga. I'm not
fucking. And you running.
We running.
Fuck these old niggas. They mad at me because I tell them, fuck, all you niggas pussy, you ain't gonna do nothing. He ain't said it, I said it. He ain't said it, I said it.
So Gillie, you know, he seems to forget he probably older than Rick Ross. He ain't Gillie the kid no more. You're Gillie. Yeah, but Gillie make it sound like ignorant that he bought the cow. Buying the cow was actually the smartest thing he probably didn't ever did in his life. Because that's going to save him a lot of money in taxes on that property. See, Gillie don't know that. So he diss it. But him roasting Ross was funny as hell, I ain't gonna lie. But one, you're older than him probably. You're not Gillie the kid no more. You're Gillie. Gillie has been about 30 for 20 years. I mean, but here's the thing. We all love Gillie, right? But let's be realistic. Gillie do some F-boy stuff too. Since he been on this show and started blowing up, and now instead of, because I remember it wasn't that long ago, Gillie, you was on the gram doing Instagram videos for free, dropping $1 million worth of game. Then Jay-Z dropped it in a song and was really trying to help you out. And you was like, come on, Hov, you can't do that. But you know you don't bring that energy for Hov. And you know what Hov did to your career as a rapper. He pulled the plug. But yes, he found his lane and nobody's mad at that. Back in those days that I speak to Gillie, I don't think I've ever spoken to Gillie. I think I've spoken to him on social media before, like as far as a tweet or something, but no, we never ever spoke on the streets or nothing like that, no. But I mess with the figures. The major figures, yes. So I knew about them before there was ever a state property. So when I knew state property came along, and I said, oh, they finna try to make a major figures over there. I was like, man, why wouldn't they just sign major figures? That's just stupid. But I saw what they was doing. Benny was from Philly. So I'm thinking everybody cool because they all know each other and they all were cool. You know, Dutch and Spade and all of them. And these dudes who see each other, like they from the same block. Some of these dudes are 2 houses down from each other. And now they got to diss the dude that lived 2 houses down from them. That's when it becomes a dangerous situation. and Jay-Z spearheaded all that. And I'm like, how you let a Brooklyn night have a bunch of Philly dudes going at each other? And that's why Philly, who really had the influence of the entire hip-hop world in the 2000s, from 2000 to like 2007 and 8, Philly slang, lingo, it was everywhere. But you got everybody else saying it, and y'all warm with each other and ain't getting the money. And they the ones getting the money off y'all. They use Philly as a battery. Jay-Z going around saying all Philly quotes, Philly words. Rolling with it. He from Brooklyn, but he rolling with all the Philly dudes. Nobody noticed that. He had two guys from Marcy. He had G to K and Memph Bleak, and G to K was with Memph. So that was it. Hove played them. Gillie was smart not to sign with Hove and not to take that deal, because they wouldn't have made it that way. If they would have bumped heads immediately, because Gillie wasn't going for that. Oh, you got to go diss him. Oh, you got to go diss him. Drop this. I mean, for him to be a minion like that to Jay, it wasn't going to work. Gillie's ego and Jay's ego would have clashed. He don't have that submissiveness that a lot of them artists have. But at that time, now he do. Now it's entertainment. He knows who to get boastful with and who he can and who he can't. Like Rick Ross, he'll go off on Rick Ross all day. Rick has no power. Rick can't shut nothing down. Rick can't cut the lights off. All these other people can cut the lights off. But you never hear these dudes talk about the Doug Morrises, the Jimmy Iovine's, Clive Davises. They never go at these guys. I don't understand it. In the rap world, the brothers are not sitting on top of it running the industry. Hip hop is a mess. But they blame Diddy. What about Diddy Boss? Do you know Diddy was just a middleman worker? Diddy don't run nothing. Clive give him deals. Jimmy Iovine got to give him deals. They hold on to Puffy because Puffy is their middleman. He gonna do all the work and run around because they bones and joints ache. They ain't moving around. They going to award shows. You don't see them move. They stay in the crib and they let Diddy go around do all they running for them. Hit the like button. I know y'all just got here, man, but yeah, like that button up. Well, Mano didn't open his mouth. I mean, Wallow. I keep saying Mano, but Wallow, he ain't open his mouth doing none of it. No, it ain't that he getting ripped off by Ross. Ross paid Meek everything he was supposed to pay Meek. The problem is Meek Mill was signed into like 3 different deals. So if you got 3 different people taking money from your one project and they all get paid before you do, you in a bad deal. 50 Cent was in a bad contract when he was with Interscope. When he was with Interscope and he signed with Shady, Aftermath, he signed to 3 different record labels. Shady Records gonna get paid. Shady Records got paid. Aftermath got paid. Jimmy Iovine got paid. Then G Unit Records got paid. So that's 3 record companies that got to get paid before you get your money. Then you got to pay taxes on all of it. So that's why Meek Mill's so upset, because he realized he was in a bad deal because everybody got paid except for me. And this is why Wallow and them left. But it's not because of what Ross did, but this is why you don't sign to an artist, because an artist is trying to build themselves up. They using you to blow themselves up and keep them relevant, so they can eat off you, because Ross was in a bad contract. He signed to Jay-Z and Diddy. They both getting money out of him, like a ready teller. They put all that money into him. They was like, all right, fat boy, you gotta run them ends now. That's how he got into these investment deals. They the ones put him in it. Now it's Calgate. Like, man, what the cow got to do with it, man? Y'all done threw the cow in this. The cow, like, I ain't got nothing to do with y'all beefing. What's beef without the cow? That's the smartest thing Ralston did, was get a farm on the land. Get agriculture on the land so you can get the agriculture tax out there in Georgia. That way, your property taxes are reduced. You get chickens, you get you a farm. You see, the only reason I know that is because my uncle been farming for about 40 years? He know how to farm. He raised dogs, he got his chickens. You need a Rottweiler, he got it. He got everything down there. So he get up in the morning, feed them chickens, and my uncle been doing that. He got to be in his 80s now. My Uncle Ed. He retired, moved back down south, just mind to his chickens. Go to church on Sundays. That's what Uncle Ed do. Used to have Jimmy down there helping him out on the farm. Well, people told him what to do. He's slow, but he's smart enough to listen. He don't believe his own BS. That's one thing about Rick Ross. He knows he's a phony. So you ain't telling him nothing new. It ain't like he believed he the biggest boss thus far. He's fully aware of what he is. So that's the difference. When you aware and know what you are, and you are content, like it's some people be like, look, I ain't it and I ain't never gonna be it. You know them people, they content. They ain't lying to themselves. Ross, he's out of the general public for money. He's like, look, I ain't the biggest boss I done seen thus far. But I'ma hang around the biggest boss I done seen this far. But I'ma act like I'm the biggest drug kingpin. I just don't know how people still fall for it.
These old pussy ass niggas that ever played with me, I'm at these old bitch ass niggas for playing with me. You heard? Third one, you heard? Fuck these old coward ass, scary ass niggas playing. They ain't no gangsters, they don't want to see no murder, so your pussy ass niggas stick to what you do, blood. Cause y'all ain't about this gangster shit at all.
See? That's Birdman. See when he was playing with Birdman? And everybody think it was okay to play with Birdman? You see, he don't play with Birdman no more. Like I said, he only does that stuff when he has an album coming out. This is what got him in trouble with Floyd Mayweather. And I saw what happened the night. Rick Ross is going to have the biggest beatdown in the history of his life that night in Las Vegas. Diddy had made a very big mistake. Diddy was unaware when he first signed Rick Ross and started working with him, which caused him and 50 Cent to fall right back out. And he's hanging around Floyd. He made a huge mistake and invited Rick Ross. He had no idea Rick Ross and Floyd, they didn't get along. But here's the thing. Rick Ross knew. Now, if I know I got beef with somebody, or me and them been going back and forth, I ain't trying to show up to a place, to their party. Ross showed up. He thinking everything was everything. Because Diddy didn't know anything about it. Diddy had no idea Ross and Floyd had a problem. And brings in Rick Ross like everything was everything. I just wish all of you could have seen the look everybody had that was with Floyd. I'm gonna tell you, this night just happened to be one of those nights. It was just a regular night. It wasn't like a major party night. It was a regular night. But what they don't know, it's like Floyd, and this is the weirdest thing this night. I hadn't seen all these people in like years. And it was like, man, the whole LA side, of all his friends from LA, Floyd, all his people that was in his crew, but all the people from the Chicago, that I don't normally see, that I normally see that hang out with Floyd, all of them were there. Like people just came home. Like I just got out. Like all of the troublemakers, they were there. That's how weird this night was. So when Rick Ross was there, and they didn't even know, but they found out like, yo, that's the dude that's been dissing Floyd. Yeah, we got this problem. He talking about he finna whoop, whoop, whoop. Man, when that spread it through the place, I already knew there was a problem because I remember the triple OGs, the video. You should have seen the look on Rick Ross' face. I swear to God, he was scared to death almost because he didn't know it was gonna be like this. He was light on security. He had about one guy with him, and that dude like he was just dressed for the club. He was like looking at Diddy like oh man, well tell him I want to talk. So he kept coming up to Floyd because he want to talk. Like he want to say, hey man, look, I'm sorry. He want to apologize. He want to make sure this night is not gonna get disturbed. So when he keep trying to walk up to Floyd, everybody that's there think it's on when they see him walk up. So he was fin to get the worst beat down and thank God it didn't happen because we all would have been going to jail. Cause that would have went left. It was some real hitters out there that night. Let me tell you, Floyd was very well protected that night. I have not seen it was like Voltron. Everybody showed up like it was formed. I haven't seen some of them dudes in years. And I mean, this is the Cabrini Green Projects. Mickey Cobras was on deck. It was MCs. 1, 2, 3. I'm like, damn, dude, what you doing way out here in Vegas? It was on. Yeah, this wasn't TMT. This was TNT Dynamite. I mean, my man had the gold. He had a gold cane, black and gold cane, walking with it. I mean, like these some real OGs that was out there. And this was just a regular night of hanging out. And I'm like, this is finna go get crazy. It got so crazy in there. Floyd even knew it was crazy. And he was like, we can't do this now. So Floyd went back to the hotel so they can come downstairs, just him and Floyd, and just talk this thing out. But nah, it was not a good night. But that's how they squashed it that night, and they've been cool ever since. But 50? Hell no. 55th was like, hell no. That ain't never finna happen. This dude sued me and tried to end my career. Hell no. I wasn't going. No, he did that song to try to promote his group, the Triple OGs. And they came out dissing Floyd Mayweather in the video. Had the little guy in there. Yeah, that Mayweather money looking funny in the light. Well, the craziest thing that Fifth ever did was he outed Rick Ross's finances. He had them all because of the divorce that he was going through from the first wife. Well, you want to make sure that the first thing that you're dealing with, you want to make sure everything is everything, you know? So he wanted to play. So 50 Cent, who wrote Floyd into this, brought Rick Ross kids to Floyd Mayweather house. He didn't bring them to his house. He took Floyd, he took his ex-wife and took his kids over to Floyd Mayweather house. Took Rick Ross' kids over there. They was like, you don't got access to your kids. We got your kids. I'm Uncle 50. 50 didn't give a damn about Ross' kids. They exploiting these kids and threw his kids out there like that. And look at the baby mama. She out there living it up. Using the kids. Putting them at Floyd's house. They get to see the belts and everything. And there go Diddy. Diddy saw that it was Rick Ross' kids and got the hell up out of there. Diddy got the hell up out of there. Diddy saw that and was like, oh, Fifth is here? You see that when he saw Fifth was in the house? He saw Fifth was in the house. Diddy show up. Watch Diddy show up and see Fifth is in the house and dip. He see Rick Ross' kid, Rick Ross' baby mama. Diddy finna hit the corner and see that and go, oh, it's Fifth? Oh, let me go. Yeah. Let's go in the other room. Where can I chill? I want to be in here. Yeah, I'll go in here. So this was the time after that, he trying to explain, like, man, why are you trying to destroy what I'm building? Because at this time, he didn't sign with he ain't signed with Puff yet. Puff ain't signed Ross. He ain't came in. He learning about all the beef right now. He learning about 50 telling him the whole rundown with Rick Ross. Then after knowing all this, did he go and sign him? This is what pissed 50 off to no ends. Because he's like, I sat there and told you everything. You know everything that went down. You know what this is about. Diddy is like, man, I'm trying to sell some records. I'm a businessman. I can make this guy the new Biggie. But he did. He restarted Rick Ross' career. Diddy hit the reset button. Because right after that, he started coming in there with these new harder beats. I'm Big Me, Larry Hoover. One day, hey, man, Ross is going hard. Hey, I like this Ross. That's when everybody started to switch up. No. Gillie gonna be Gillie. Gillie gonna say silly stuff. He gonna roast you. He gonna do everything. He gonna grill for the camera. He gonna do all that. Nigga. Why you living in a one-room shack? Huh? Where your goons at? Where your protection was? Gillie he's theatrical. It is great because people get to see and listen. Like, he was always funny and he was always roasting people. But Gillie is always known for, now y'all get to see him on television do all these faces and all this other stuff that he always used to do. But he's quick with it. That's why Rick Ross going back and forth with him. This ain't gonna be good for him unless he got an album coming out. So if you ain't got an album coming out, Ross, you might as well back down. Well, see, artists and entertainers, once you buy something, let's say you bought a ring, or you're buying something in which you can't afford to stay. That's why most of these entertainers or athletes, once they retire from the NBA, they don't stay in their house. They wish they could live in the house. Most of them have to downgrade when their basketball career is over. Some of them have gotten smart and they don't even buy the house, they just rent it while they playing in the league. They be renting that house. And then they'll try to do something to stay in the community, but once their career is over, they go back to living a modest life. Some people, like I told you, I knew ex-athletes who actually pawned championship rings Yeah, they pawned championship rings and everything, the whole nine. Mm-mm. I don't see it that way. No, because they spend their life acting like fools with their money. They spend it all up on cars and jewelry and tricking it off on these hoes. Right? But after you tricked all this money off on these hoes, then where your money at? I mean, what's your life gonna be? When it's all said and done, you done bought all these cars that ain't worth nothing. Now you done bought them. Then you bought your crew. You done spent all the money paying for all these dudes to protect you every time you go out. You just blowing money as it comes. Then you paying all these taxes and millions are going in taxes. They just taxing you as you playing. Once your career stops, 80% of your revenue is gone. And that's massive. And you can't survive in the neighborhood that you've been living in all of those years. And you've been acting as if you're going to play basketball forever. And you're going to make all that money that you've been making for the rest of your life. When you didn't prepare yourself to where you could be living where you're living at, or better, for the rest of your life. Certain athletes are doing that now because those opportunities are there now because of social media and, you know, the internet. You can easily, because of your name power, open doors that wouldn't normally be there for you. That's why Kevin Durant don't ever have to worry about money. Kevin Durant could sit out the NBA for 10 years if he wanted to. That $100 million contract he got is good, but Kevin Durant got investments in Silicon Valley that's going to be worth billions. Right, but see, when you don't do things, see, this is what rich folks do. What people should do is look at the people that's doing it that's above you. How are they doing that? This is why they have investments. This is why they're into politics. Do you think they into politics because they really believe this guy's finna make some damn changes? Hell no, they go with a political party so they can get their taxes reduced. They make contributions so that they can get a tax reduction. That's why they join political campaigns. They want a reduction in taxes. People up there be clapping for these dudes. They can give a damn. They want that tax write-off. Well, you look at it. You look at a reflection of these people as you look at their children, and you see how their children act. And their children act just like them. You know, they felt entitled. They grew up in a rich area and don't have any connection to anything. So they normally act out. And they want to be a star too. And they try to make themselves stars and do all this nonsense. The whole time they didn't know daddy was faking. Mama was faking. The whole time. But that's why we normally go broke. Because we don't have financial planning. We get with a financial advisor, they gonna just rip you off. They be, okay, dumb black athlete. All right, let me go ahead and get my money off and rip him off, and he'll try to sue me in court. He gonna fail. By the time he find out, I done been spent all his money. And you could lose millions of dollars going with these financial experts, who's an expert of nothing. You can lose all your money doing that. When all of it takes just basic common sense. You can take your money, if you're a professional athlete, you have access to millions. Take $2 million, put it in a CD, and let it sit while you go play your NBA career and don't worry about that $2 million? It don't even exist. Take that and be like, look, first $2 million, I don't even know where that go. That's gone. I don't even look at it. It's in a CD right now, ain't getting touched. Just add money up. And you play for, let's say, 10 years, $2 million in a CD for over 10 years, brother, you won't have to worry about basketball no more. You gonna be good. Then you'll get a pension. You get a retirement pension. You done gave over 10 years to this. No, most of these dudes try to get into television, broadcast, get any kind of job they can. Now everybody a podcaster. Yep, but we've done over an hour. I'm glad you guys came by, showed support. You know, super chatted. My cash app is Carceno, Karceno, if you want to donate. Shouts out to Sister T. Follow at Kwame Brown Bus Life. The bus is back. He back live streaming now. And now they running like roaches, because now they going to be like, man, I just hope he mentioned me. Hope he say something about me. Them haters is mad. They little plan backfire. He coming back bigger than ever. See, that's how you do. You hit the ground, you bounce up like round ball, baby. So hopefully all y'all like the video. We'll talk later on.